Sometimes the smallest games really do leave the biggest impact. Planet of Lana wasn't about spectacle or constant action, it was instead about atmosphere, emotion, and a quiet journey that stayed with you long after it ended. Now, Planet of Lana 2 Children of the Leaf does return. It's bigger, more ambitious, and far more emotional than I ever expected. But does the sequel truly evolve what made the original so special, or does it struggle to recapture that same magic? Well, my name is Fletcher, and this is Xbox Nation, and this is my review of Planet of Lana 2 Children of the Leaf. Right from the start, it is totally worth noting that you don't need to have played the first game to understand what's going on within this sequel. The sequel opens up with a thoughtful recap that brings new players up to speed while naturally continuing Lana's story. It's handled incredibly well, and it does give you enough context without overwhelming you with so much exposition. Essentially, several years have passed since Lana's previous adventure, and the world of Novo has certainly changed. After the machine invasion and their ultimate defeat, technology has now become integrated into Lana's tribe, and is being used peacefully and very respectfully, but of course not everyone shares those same ideals. Another tribe called the Dijing Hala has now begun exploiting this technology, mining Novo's resources and upsetting the planet's balance. When Lana's young niece is ultimately injured in a mining accident and falls into a coma, Lana and of course her loyal companion known as Mui will once again set out on an adventure searching for a way to save her. This time though, the threat facing Novo isn't just going to be mechanical, it is human, and like any strong sequel, the stakes feel far more personal. I will state though, I won't be spoiling any major story beats here, but what I can say is that this narrative digs deeper emotionally than the original. Lana and Mui uncover secrets surrounding Novo, the machines, and their shared existence, and the story effortlessly moves forward between peaceful wonder and genuine tension. Wishfully continues to rely on its sort of pseudo-language dialogue, and once again it works utterly beautifully. Throughout its tone, animation, and delivery alone, you understand exactly what characters are feeling without needing the traditional speech. It encourages interpretation and imagination, pulling you further into this world rather than distancing you from it. And honestly, this story hits me way harder than I ever expected. There are genuine gut punch moments later on within the game, and by the final act I found myself surprisingly emotional. I will say it's been a long time since a game has really managed to pull that kind of reaction out of me. I mean, I even shed a tear, it was that bloody phenomenal. Gameplay though is where Planet of Lana 2 has truly evolved beyond its predecessor. The core structure does remain slightly familiar with its platforming, stealth and environmental puzzles, but nearly every system has been expanded or ultimately refined. Lana feels way more capable this time around, movement is a lot smoother, faster and significantly more responsive. You have new abilities like sliding into cover, improved climbing mechanics, wall traversal, and even expanded environmental interaction, which then makes navigation feel way more fluid in a way that the first game only hinted at. Despite these improvements though, the game still preserves that sort of sense and essential feeling of vulnerability. Lana never ever feels overpowered, which is great to see, and instead she feels a lot more adaptable. She does grow alongside the challenges this new world throws at her, and ultimately that's where the game really intrigued me. One of the biggest additions though is going to be swimming this time around. It's not just surface level traversal like we did see in the original entry, instead it's full underwater exploration, and it becomes a major part of the overall adventure. You will dive through coral reefs, navigate some submerged ruins, and explore some massive mechanical structures that are hidden beneath the ocean. Underwater gameplay is surprisingly successful. I know there are a few games out there which really don't do it well. The movement here though feels very deliberate, puzzles are cleverly integrated as well, and the new threats, these aggressive aquatic predators, add real tension to exploration. I will say though that exiting water sections can occasionally feel a little bit clunky. These moments are rare and never really derail the experience, but they can get a little frustrating from time to time. Overall though, Lana's expanded moveset makes traversal way more dynamic while still maintaining the grounded tone that defined the series. It's a great improvement without taking any steps back, and it's really welcome, and I hope we even see more down the line in potentially a new sequel. Mui, on the other hand though, is where the sequel makes its biggest leap forward, and this is a very welcome one, especially if you played the first game. If you remember, in the original game, Mui functioned primarily as a companion that was just used for mainly distraction and puzzle assistance. But here, Mui actually becomes a fully integrated gameplay system. Commanding Mui feels incredibly intuitive by using the RB button system on your controller, allowing you to essentially guide them through much larger distances than ever before. Puzzles now rely far more heavily on coordination between Lana and Mui, really creating moments that feel collaborative rather than scripted. For instance, Mui can now activate switches and environmental mechanisms, you can even stun enemies and manipulate power sources, interact with machines in way more complex ways, and then even take control of certain creatures and robotic systems. There are entire sequences as well where you will be controlling Mui independently, almost resembling a sort of point-and-click puzzle experience like we saw back in the 90s. These sections add a surprising variety and really reinforce Mui as an equal partner rather than just simply a companion. Alongside that though, there are also new creature mechanics that further expand the puzzle design, from aquatic animals that can obscure enemy vision to strange rolling creatures that can leave combustible trails used to alter environments. These ideas constantly introduce some fresh problem-solving scenarios without overwhelming us, and it does feel like a natural evolution rather than unnecessary complication. The puzzles themselves are way more ambitious and occasionally more complex than the first entry. They are never unfair, but players who weren't fond of the puzzle-heavy gameplay of the original game will feel exactly the same here. For fans of the original, this however is added depth that is incredibly rewarding and very welcoming. I just don't think it's going to change the tide, especially if you weren't fond of the first game. Like its predecessor though, Planet of Lana 2 is just absolutely breathtaking in all the right ways. The art direction still does remain one of the strongest within modern indie games. I mean, Nova feels so alive, it's got so much vast landscapes, it's got all of these sort of vibrant ecosystems and then haunting mechanical remnants that create a world that constantly invites you to stop and simply take it all in. There are countless moments where I did find myself just standing still and just admiring the overall scenery. The soundtrack once again does play a massive role in shaping the experience here. The emotional beats land way harder, the quiet exploration feels meditative, and the moments of danger gain intensity purely through its musical composition. Without this score, Planet of Lana simply wouldn't feel the same. It really is fundamental to the identity of the overall game, and Planet of Lana 2 just takes it up a notch. From a performance standpoint though as well, the experience is going to be excellent across all the Xbox consoles and even the Xbox Ally handheld. This isn't a title that's chasing technical spectacle or extreme frame rates. Instead, this one prioritizes smooth presentation and artistic consistency, and it succeeds effortlessly. No matter where you play this one, this game feels polished, stable and cohesive, and is a bloody mighty experience that I really couldn't put down. For me, Planet of Lana 2 Children of the Leaf is a triumph of artistry and emotional storytelling. The world is richer, its mechanics are way more refined, and its narrative is much more intimate and impactful than the original entry. While the occasional movement quirks and puzzle frustrations do appear from time to time, they will never overshadow what Wishfully has really achieved here. This is a beautifully crafted adventure that really understands the power of quiet storytelling and meaningful design. This one stayed with me long after the credits rolled, and I just wish I could experience it all over again. For that reason, Planet of Lana 2 earns here a 9.5 out of 10. If you're looking for an emotional platforming adventure or simply want another indie gem arriving onto Xbox Game Pass, you've absolutely found it. Wishfully have once again delivered something truly special, and I genuinely cannot wait to see where this world goes next. Here's hoping this isn't the last journey we take with Lana and Mui in the near future.